v.h.s.x? What do you mean?
Alright, we're back again. We're playing some more Trapper today. And he's all the way dripped out. It's great. This cosmetic is fantastic, man. It does remind me really heavily of the anniversary event. Just without the blue, which is quite good. And it looks really nice, man. It looks really good. Went for a different kind of build today. We went for more speed this time. We went all speed. Batteries, rapid, the coffee grounds. We got everything just giving us a lot of zoom speeds, man. You know, just try something new. Try something different. Because, you know, obviously the best add-ons are going to be the stones. You know, you want Eerie Stone, you want the honing. Those are just going to be your best stones. You got to be like Thanos, man, collecting all them stones. And that's the only way I would recommend playing it. But, you know, I wanted to try to just get BP in the meantime. But I figure why not just showcase, you know, the skin as well, man. And this is just the early setup. You know, you always got to do that. You may lose a gen or two. That's completely fine. Because that's the way of the Trapper, man. This is the way of the Trapper, because his snowball potential is obsolete, man. Well, I guess obsolete's not the... I guess absolute's probably the better word. But anyway, place one on the TNL just to cut off that option. Helps limit that. And the... I don't know if you noticed the gen kick, actually. The gen kick looks really smooth now. So it actually looks like they're actually kicking the gen and it damaging, and not kicking the gen and then it explodes. If that makes sense. So that looks pretty smooth, I would say. A little slight little, you know, I don't think it's any faster. I just think they adjusted the animation, and it definitely looks nice. And the pallet breaks actually have like little like shards that of the, I don't know if the word is shards, but it has like wood pieces that fly in the air when you break the pallet. It looks pretty cool. Now I'm surprised I didn't get that swing there, but that's a-okay. They're already wasted like 2 to 3 pallets. At this point, they're really trying to go for a stun, so possibly Rift Challenge? I don't know. I don't really check the Survivor challenges that much, so who knows? But in the meantime, I figure, well, you know, it is Shaq. Let's quickly slap down a trap real quick, and then use our speed boost to give us that little zoom, and fly on over to that next tile. Which for some reason I didn't leave a trap on that one. I think it's because I had to kick the gen. But either way, we're able to cut off that option and just kind of fly into it, so that's what we use and get the quick pickup. And they tried to save and it just didn't work. So, hey, the hooks are next to the gen. We had some pretty good pressure. Have to say, very good stuff. So now we go ahead and replace that, which you may notice as well that Trapper does have the floating traps bug again, so that's pretty much what we come to expect. But on the bright side, we did get some batteries included value stacking on with the coffee grounds, giving us some really good speed. They do end up stacking the haste, so you may notice that in the little circle that shows a little speed boost that we were getting. Now, obviously, the one main issue that you're gonna find with Trapper is that if the traps are disarmed, you're gonna have to melee rearm them again, which can be very tedious, and that's also what makes Trapper kind of weak in that sense, because he does lack a bit of range. But he does have a massive amount of snowball potential, so that's exactly what we look for. Now, obviously here we see a lot of people kind of lurking and hiding in the background. We're just going to try to focus up on the Zarina here, because that's obviously going to get everyone to come in, just judging by how many people came for a save. Now here's where the massive shambles kicks in. I'm just going to spoil it for you. The massive shambles are going to kick in, because I had assumed, you know, I got, which if I had used... maybe rapid, and like if I hit them, pick them up, I would have had batteries included and rapid. Probably would have gave me some free agitation, but shambles for me, they were just kind of flickering on the screen with the FOV and stuff like that. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I mean? Should have probably just used the hook I had, but I got ambitious and tried to place on the gen they were working on. But I figured, well, I can't mess around anymore. Now I can pretty much win this, because I already can kind of get a feel for my opponent here, or my opponents rather. So they're like super hard body, trying to body block. I'm just waiting it out just to find the right opportunity, which as you can see here, like she's just losing her mind to try to make sure she gets the body block, when she ends up jumping off the ledge there, which would give me an opportunity due to rapid brutality, give me a little bit of extra of a boost. But they do end up getting a free vault, because it is a window, a god window in this area until you break that wall. And obviously rotating around this building can be quite a pain in the behind. So, but either way, we're still the best. So we're going to go ahead and just finesse them here. They got stuck on that tree, which gives me the opportunity to get the free down as I expected. We're going to lose gens. which is, as I've said, to be expected. This is our playing Trapper, and like I've said, you can't count him out. You know what I'm saying? He always has a chance, and that's what makes him secretly very strong. Surprisingly, in the right hands. Now, we know that one kind of like flew up the stairs, so we really didn't have to do much, because we know that if they go for the save, we can immediately just go for them again. We're just keeping a lookout for anybody else, which we're going to probably try to get a hit on the Jill. But then I realized, wait, this TNL has next to batteries included. Let me just use the trap. Give me the coffee ground haste, and also the haste from batteries, giving me the extra haste I need to give me just enough speed to make it over there, which unfortunately they do get the heal off. That's cool, you know, that's fine. I just didn't. I could have sworn when I was playing, I could have sworn that I had spotted this arena from somewhere, but I realized it's not really worth trying to look here, because we still have like 2 survivors here we could really get some pressure off them. So we just got the free down on good old Sable here. I think that's a Sable. And then the other one is losing her mind as before. You know, that's the thing with survivors, man. They think if it works once, they think it works twice. It's not how that works, bro. They got down immediately. So now we just got ourselves a freebie, right? Because Rapid Brutality gave me like a little mini agitation off the first hit. She got cocky and then ends up getting herself down. This one's trying to fly in for a flashbang save. That's not how that works. We got the free M1. We use that speed boost to use it as another mini agitation, which is pretty nice, to say the least. Now, Rapid does help both with carrying survivors. She drops the flashbang, so I just dodged it. Anyway, place him on the hook right there. And we just continue to fly over. Now, if I were to go full in on speed boost, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe there could be something to go with there. But I just wanted to stay within the 2 slowdowns, because that is going to be your best combination for a Trapper. Because it's just, you know, you need that slowdown to buy enough time to have a good enough trap placements, which we then, once again, are now able to place them in there again, which they actually did 4%. So behavior even was coming in to intervene. So we made sure to hit the Claudette in the meantime to give myself not only some more speed, but also to have them go manned in the meantime, which will then waste more of their time. Now, there's only one person really on the generators right now. The other ones are either healing in the distance or doing other things. That is not a problem, because, you know, right now we have somebody in the basement. We can then place a trap on this window, because, you know, they're going to most likely take the window at some point. And then we use the coffee grounds to give us another speed boost to fly around and see what we can kind of make happen here, because we are at the 1 gen mark and nobody's dead yet, but there's a lot of hooks, and that's exactly what we can use to leverage the game to our side. We're just keeping an eye out, seeing what we can get a hold of, which batteries included value. Now it's giving us some value here. We can go ahead and follow through, which we find the one that we wanted initially. And this is where it kicks in, because we know this clown doesn't know how to loop, so we're going to use that to our advantage. We use our rapid value, flying on over, giving us that little extra distance, which we're actually able to make Shack pretty easily. The window has been trapped prior to that, which I'm pretty sure they remember that I trapped it. And then we're just able to go ahead and pick them up and remove them from the game. They are now eliminated, and that is already step 1 to the win already. It's already shambles after this. It's all shambles. They're all healing, doing all this nonsense. The Sable's still here next to batteries included. Value right there next to that generator, giving us a little bit of extra speed. So we're using the 2 speed boosts to give us... As you can see, we're zooming. We are zooming. We're flying. So she has to go for a vault. When she gets clamped, we just immediately grab them out. You know, why not? Now, I probably could have swung and then used the rapid brutality for like more agitation value, pretty much. But I didn't really do that. Which is massive shambles. But either way, I'm going to fly my way back up, and then we're going to go ahead and place, most likely replace that trap just again, because just, you know, maybe they didn't notice, maybe they're healing, so maybe they don't really know exactly where I placed it. So we're just keeping an eye out, because we know that even though it's 1 gen and this one is being progressed, we can still keep an eye out and kind of gauge where these people are going to be. Now, we did hear the Jill. I assumed they were above me, but I wanted to see if I could mind game it, which they just kind of were waiting, I guess. Which, as a matter of fact, I realized, wait a second, this one's injured. They're probably going to go for the save. So I made sure to just break that gen again and wait it out, because I knew they were going to go for it. And then that's when we start to use our, you know, body blocking ability here to try to, you know, stop them, which they just vault out and get clamped again. So then we just go ahead and hit them, knock them to the ground, and use our speed boost to try to catch up to the Jill over here, which I believe they still make the pallet anyway, but we were able to at least, you know, get it out of the way, because I knew if I walked past it, they may not have pre-dropped it, so I wanted to make sure that we brute force it out, because those can be very difficult to deal with. And then obviously now we know that the Jill is going to try to use her flashbang. That's why we even saw them hiding in the corner there. Of course, they use that hard when, don't they? They always need second chances when they're the ones who put themselves into bad situations. But now we use our speed boost to now eliminate the Sable out of the game. So we knew that was coming. I mean, that, like, you know, but I wanted to see if I can snowball a little bit more pressure. But, you know, a second chance perk will always save them. So then that's when we go ahead and, you know, reopen this trap. Because it seems, I don't know if they just, I don't know what to think of that. But anyway, we then use our speed boost to fly on over to the Jill here, which then gets finessed anyway. And then we just go ahead and pick up our trap and start finessing from there. We were able to go ahead and look around for the Claudette probably. Very, very easy stuff. Which they end up getting full healed anyway. So I had assumed that they'd probably be in the main building, maybe at the top. So that's why I went to go ahead and break it. So moving forward here, I decided to start going after the Claudette because they did pick up the Jill, which we knew they had balanced landing as from before. They can't use that, so they're gonna go ahead and just kind of zoom around, get them the free speed boost. They wasted a lot of time trying to FOV and do all that nonsense, but we're using our 2 speed boost to once again give us the exact distance I needed to make sure we shake our heads so that they know that they're garbage. So from there, this is where I started using more speed boosts to start flying around and placing down stuff and really just trying to use our movement to see if we can hear anybody kind of lurking in the shadows and see if we can find where the Jill had went. Now, as you can probably assume, you know how survivors are. They're going to then hide, pick up, and then keep redoing this until nauseam, until eventually they're both down in the first place. But I will say, at least I can say that the new gen kick looks really nice. It looks very smooth. It looks pretty cool. Like, it looks definitely a lot nicer than, you know, you kicking the gen and then it just randomly explodes afterwards. Now it's like your actual like foot is connecting to the generator and really breaking it manually as if you actually are genuinely kicking it, which definitely looks pretty good. Now I really wonder how it looks on Ghostface personally. I know it's probably doesn't necessarily matter per se what character, but I do want to see what it looks like with the classic robe cosmetic, just out of sheer curiosity because I think it'd be very fun. Now we do knock them down for the second time. And then we just try to fly back around with batteries and rapid, just absolutely using the value here for this build. Just using our speed to just kind of get an earshot of something. But unfortunately, we were not really able to do that because they just kind of hide the entire time instead of you know, just giving up, you know, as they should. So now she gets up for the 3rd time, and then I go around and try to force that pallet drop because, you know, they're obsessed. You know, with pallets and whatnot, right? Like that. You know what I'm saying? They love getting stuns and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It makes them feel like they're powerful. You know how survivors are. No, I'm kidding. But no. But I'm using like the multiple speed boosts here, trying to kind of get an idea where they're trying to run off to because a lot of areas here are trapped up. So I'm kind of chaining the 2 like the speed boosts here. They start going on top of hills so they can just use their balanced landing again. But thankfully, that's why we have ourselves the good old batteries included here. Of course, they slow vault. We already knew that was coming. I wasn't even going to try mind gaming it because I knew I didn't have to. I did try to use the haste there to give me a little vault there. I mean, a little bit of speed boost on the vault there. But I wasn't really trying to overdo it with any mind games or anything like that because I was mainly trying to see how much speed I can stack with batteries and rapid and the trap and stuff like that. And then we just fold them again. So all of that for basically a drop of blood. So we give them the good old trapper bags because they really believed in their minds that they were doing something. So, you know, you got to really make sure you drive it on home. Give them the trapper bags. Oh yeah, you love to see it. Yep, and the good old shaking the head, and then we back up and start looking around for Jill again. Because we have downed this Claudette like 3 to 4 times in a row. They decided to do the gen for some reason, so that gives me even more speed. You know. Even more speed. You love to see it. Maybe I'll expand on this build in the future and try to get even more speed stacks. She tries to drop a flashbang. Like as if I didn't hear that thing clang on the ground, and then yep, vaults into the trap. So that was definitely a really fun match. I have to say again, to go all shaking the head, you know, garbage. And then we place them on the hooks. And then we just get the heck out of there, man. We just get the heck out of there. Oh man, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Which, yes, of course, you know how I do in every video, you know what I'm saying? You know how I do. I gotta hit him with the shaking the head and the hitting while I'm in frame. You know, I have to do it. You know, I have to do it. Remember, they were bagging me first. They were dropping the bags first. You can't say it was me. You can't say it was me. I returned the favor. You know what I'm saying? I returned the favor, which I don't care even if you do say it. So I'm just having fun. So this outfit is wonderful, and what is that? That's not even a machete. That's a freaking sword. Like what? It's a freaking gold sword. Like, and then you can take a look at the builds there. Of course, a lot of meta in there. At least one of them. The Jill was running dead hard. Claudette with the decisive. Very not as sweaty as it could be. Let's go ahead and jump right into the next one. We're on Lambkin Lane. We're gonna see what the vibes are with Lambkin Lane. The new Lambkin Lane. So this is definitely a very brand new, you know, thing here, which I'm trying to place down the traps a little bit more methodically here, because I did switch the build just a bit, because the speed build is not necessarily the most useful build, and it's not something I want to take advantage of all the time, especially because it's very inconsistent, because you are having to get speed boosts off of areas. Which I was taking a look at the new window, like, you know, well, I guess not a window anymore, but the new vault, which I was like, not bad, not bad. Now here I was like, wait a minute, this is still here. Let me trap this up because it can be a bit of an issue, and I do want to threaten that as an option. And then we want to try to fly in, which I pick up the trap immediately. I just figured the traps are going to be more important to me than a clown crouching next to a car. You know what I'm saying? So they fly over to a trap, which is good for me. They're gonna try to fly around and go to the God Pallet, which we knew they were gonna drop it, because you know these, you know, they're afraid of getting hit. So we're like, all right, perfect. Like because there's, which I assumed they would want to stay by the pallet, but here's where the fun begins. Because I was like, let me just place that down so that for any reason, if they try to come back. And lo and behold, this clown decided to vault over the pallet and giving me a free down. Very quick and very easy. You gotta say 200 IQ in every sense of the word. I wish I heard the flashlight go off, so I wasn't gonna turn my head just in case. You know how this game could be. So we just go ahead and place him in the middle of the street, which we know that they're working on a gen to my left side, so that's where we go first. Which, as you can see, it still has a good about 10%, and now we can go ahead and break it, use pop, which now it looks good. Like your foot genuinely like karate kicks the damn gen. It looks pretty nice. I gotta say, shout out to that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the animation, which I figure, wait a second, let me try to place the trap as close as I can so that there's no way that they can miraculously, you know, get past the trap. You know, you really gotta be careful with placement like that, which I probably should have M1'd the Steve, but I just didn't really care. I just figured I could M1 him later, which I didn't end up getting the hit there, and then the Steve is, you know, trying to get in my way. Surprisingly didn't get the grab there, but either way, this weapon is very different, by the way. Like in my eyes, like at least in my eyes, it looks very different. I don't know if that, well, obviously it's different because it's new, but you get the point. It doesn't feel like a normal machete. It feels like, I mean, it's quite literally a sword. You know, at this point, when you see the damn end screen, he's freaking carrying a sword, which is cool as hell. Which right here we do a little bit of a mind game, which I've gone ahead and broke that real quick just to make sure I break it, but also so I can clear out this pallet for free. So that makes this area a complete dead zone. We just go around the other way. Probably shouldn't. Well, it's probably fine. It does cut down on a smidge of distance. Now I will say once again, good thing that we were able to, you know, have this be a different kind of building, because this used to be disgusting to deal with normally. Now the better, which I didn't realize there was an opening on the side of the wall there. I probably could have used that, to be honest. But either way, so I figure here's a play I did here, because I see once again, look, 10% of the gem. We go ahead and kick that. And then that'll buy me time, because I know it's gonna buy me enough time. So I go ahead and pick up, and then I start making my way over to where that gen is, where there's a hook. And of course they're not done with the gen yet, so I go ahead and kick it again with pop. So there you go. Now we just prevented another gen from flying in the middle of nowhere. And then we can go ahead and reopen this trap, so when they do get saved, it does eliminate their options. But they do decide to farm their teammate. So now I'm looking around like, all right, fine. You want to get her out of the game? Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? Why not? So I decided, why not place a trap here? You know, that'll be very fun. You know, that'll be a good spot. And it's like, you know, right in the indentation of the doorway there. She does hug the wall very tight, so she doesn't end up dodging that trap. Which it wasn't meant for that anyway. It was meant for the other option, which you can see it's a Swift, most likely, like, you know, trying to disarm traps to give them options. But that's why we do a little spin around, so that they can't get a free blind. They do end up using the new DS. As you can see, it feels like I'm in slow motion, bro. Like, I'm no editing, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was how the new DS looks. Very, very slow. Which I would say it didn't really get them much distance. I was just trying to figure out where the hell she ran off to, but it turned out that the whole squad was coming into to body block. So he runs through me for some reason, so we just down him. And then we can see Sable trying to, oh, chase me now, chase me! And then they just run in there, get clamped, and then they get downed. And then now we can just start flying over to start going after the Zarina here, which they apparently got clamped as well. So that gives me the free down there. We just got the free M1 because why not? It's very funny to see them flop. Which we go ahead and just knock down Steve again. So now we can go ahead and eliminate this survivor out of our game. And now we just start making our way toward the trap, which we know they're going to go for the pickup, and then that's when we can start going for the Sable again. But I wanted to reopen the trap, give me a little bit of, you know, a small speed boost to make my way over here a little bit faster, which we knew that was coming. We go ahead and zone them, keep them back here, hide the light a little bit. We know they're going to hold W to this corner of the map, which is definitely looks a lot better than before. Very playable, I would say the least. Very more so fun than it was before. Which apparently, I guess they had a syringe on them. Never knew that. Didn't see that coming, unfortunately. But, you know, just chalk it up to another second chance, as they always have. So wasn't really too pressed about it. You know, it is what it is. But should we just go ahead and reopen this as well, just so that we don't have to worry about it later? So we just take a look around and figure, yeah, they're just gonna run toward this general area. We can at least see if we can try to mind game it. But I realized, wait a second, why should I have a trap? Just reopen it. Make sure I can keep those nice and open, so that you know, if I do have to run past that area again, it won't be it won't be any problem at all. And then we just go ahead and reset that one now. I would definitely say this map is a lot more manageable, a lot better for an M1 killer. I would have to say, is it as bad as it used to be? I mean, considering it was complete like hogwash earlier, you know, before the patch, I would say this is quite playable. Now that window is a little bit strong, but it's not as bad as it could be. I mean, we've seen some very, very disgusting, you know, loops that could be possible. We also grab our glyph in the process. You know, we're just doing our thing, because I already knew I was gonna win this from step one. Now the fences are a lot better too. Those two pallets are connected. They also open up the hedge, which was weird. I wasn't sure what that was about. It's like angled. Which I actually heard like really loud, like they vaulted something, but then I'm looking around like I don't hear or see, I don't know where they oh, they also closed up that window up there as well, so they can't vault that. Interesting. So I would have to say New Haddonfield looks playable now. I'm actually surprised, which I wanted to go ahead and place a trap there as well, just to cut off that vault. Which it seems like, I figure, yeah, I mean, it's probably a survivor within the area. Somewhere else, right? Probably, which we have a 3-gen on this side of the map, so I figured this is a good spot to make sure I defend. Which nobody's on the gens, so they're just on the car gen. This one's working on a trap for whatever reason, so it's just passive slowdown, to be expected. Now we figure, well, I'm gonna have to go into a chase. We're gonna have to hit somebody, so I figure we might as well go for Sable, because the Steve seems like he's pretty lost. But I figured, why not go for Steve? He's closer to the gens. Sable's gonna keep running to the other side of the map to buy them gen time. We're not gonna go for that. So then that's when we start continuing to chase Steve, which he has nothing to work with now, because Trapper is great. So now he's gonna fly all the way to the top, which is probably their only option at this point, because I did trap up that thing down there. which I was actually trying to figure out the pathing he was taking, but it turned out he had balanced landing. So yeah, as you expect, another perk will be the one thing that gives them something to work with. So let's go ahead and move forward just a bit so we can actually see an actual chase. So here's yet another pallet location. I would have to say is quite nice. You know what I'm saying? It's an actual like playable pallet that you can really use. You can really sit there and go, yeah, at least that's not another god pallet, because I mean there's a lot of maps with plenty of them. I mean, Area of Crows. So like at least we can finally say, hey, look, a Haddonfield offering won't be a problem, which is so nice to say. It's not like 100% my favorite map in the game, but I will say that at least it's playable. Like, you can actually loop on these maps as a killer and be able to be like, you know what, at least it requires, skill to actually loop this and not just brain dead pre-drop and run. It's nice. It's good to see. You know what I'm saying? It's very good to see, especially when they're not very skilled. It really accentuates it, as you can see here. Like, this building was completely just a dead zone. They decided to run in there. I guess that's their lack of awareness, and they just end up getting folded. So this is the outcomes we're really looking for with maps like this, where it actually requires you to use your brain. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? So that's cool. So I figure, well, they're not really working on any other gens. I'm just kind of like looking around, trying to get an idea of what the vibes are. And we have pop charged. You know what I'm saying? We have our pop ready to go. So I'm figuring, why not? Let's make our way in here and blow up this generator. But we do know that they're going to try to, I try to go from paths that they don't really expect. Because we already knew that they were, like, normally people go from that locker side, but I don't do that just to throw them off. Which they, of course, use the check spot there, but thankfully, because I knew what their plan was, I actually rotated around the other way, kind of like old Haddonfield, just to kind of throw them off. So they try to FOV, doesn't work. I already got the hit. So, but then I used that as my opportunity to fly back over to the 3 gen, because I know they're probably going to work on that gen up top, and we knew the path they were going to take. Now we, of course, hit Sable again. And if I remember correctly, I think this Sable had DS, right? So I think in the back of my mind when I was playing this match, I figured, well, they're pre-dropping the pallet. That's the only option they really had. They're running back in here with basically nothing. I did remember, I actually forgot that they had Dead Hard, because they didn't even do the animation. Now, this was definitely a DS bait. Like, it had to be. Like, it had to be. Because of the fact that they ran into a locker just for no reason. Like, nobody would normally do that unless it is a bait. So just so for you guys who are unfamiliar, because you may see more DS in the because of the new patch, just keep that in mind. If they are deliberately getting down, I mean, like running towards you, like jumping into lockers in front of you, like making a play that's a little bit like, you're like, what? Like, why would anyone do that? You just play it safe, leave them on the ground for a little bit longer. This one decided to click, I guess. I don't know why, but they got downed as well. Now, this one's crawling toward the trap to try to, like, make it so that I have to, like, either get clamped by it or something. You know how it is. It's not going to work. Because I would have either been able to pick it up or I would have been able to pick them up. Yeah, they're on second state now. We knew it was DS, if I'm not mistaken. I could have sworn it was DS. But just keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? Little stuff like that will really give them away. If you are starting out and you are new to playing killer, or maybe you're not really familiar with DS. So from here, I was able to just get another hook. I figured, why not? Because I knew that they had DS and also Dead Hard. So I figured, well, let's try to go for Steve just to waste a little more time. But this one wants to start waiting here. But they apparently had off the record as well. So, which... Yeah, like how many second chances is that? Is it like, isn't it like 2 or 3? Because they had off the record and Dead Hard, or was it just off the record and DS? It was one of those combinations of things. They always need second chances instead of actually learning how to play the game. Now, we're here. We're doing pretty well. We realize, wait a second, we can go on this side, and then while they're staggering, we just Assassin's Creed. We're good. So I left them on the ground again, just to make sure. You know what I'm saying? You never know with DS. You never know. Now, there was one idea I thought of just now, which was placing the trap on your left-hand side when you pick up, and maybe if you drop them, they'll get clamped. I'm not sure. Maybe I have to try that. So I go ahead and break that. They do get the pickup again, so I figure, well, I have enough time. They're not really working on any other generators. They healed very fast. So I figured, well, there has to be at least more than one person, because that one person can't heal that fast. And we see them both running over here. So I figure, well, we'll go for Sable probably. That's just a better option. Which we just reopen the trap again. Why not? You know, use our little speed boost. You know, cut off that option. They're trying to wait. Which I figure, well, let's just place another trap. You know, why not? We got plenty. We got plenty. Let's remove all your options. You know, so that's why we're trying to kind of go around the car here. You know, which are going back into main. I figure I got time. Like, they don't got any gens that they're working on. Which we just follow through here. Because I know that this one likes to like crouch up against a vault for whatever reason, so I figured, yeah, I already knew what they were going to do anyway. So that's why I just went straight off, which I forgot about the dead hard this time. But then I figured, wait a second, let me go back over to the front of the house. But then I realized, wait a minute, why is she still here? She should have left the area. So then I just downed them again. I'm like, why not? Why not? You already exhausted all your second chances. I think it was off the record and dead hard, so they had double the endurances. I guess because they just get folded a lot, so they need that option. You know, I understand. I get it. You know what I'm saying? When you are, you know, when you're not really that good, you need everything you can get. So it makes sense. It makes sense. Ain't no, I guess. Well, I mean, there is a little shame in your game, but still. We're gonna go ahead and pick up the trap there. We have our pop charge, and I actually went ahead and checked on the gens, and none of them were being worked on. It was just that same one that they were pushing the entire time. So definitely not in comms. That is confirmed. Even though it seemed as if it was, because they were all coming in for a body block, and they were all like trying to disarm traps around where they're being chased and stuff. It's pretty decent coordination, but maybe it was just, you know, solo queue coordination. Maybe, like, you know, some people had some foresight. I wanted to place a trap on this side, because if you notice, when you're walking in, you don't actually see that until it's too late. So that might be an interesting trap to really take note of in the future. You never know, right? You never know. So we go ahead and get the M1 here. This is a really great spot for us, because there's nothing here. There's no pallets, no nothing. And we can easily just get the down. I mean, they can run around in a circle, but it's not really going to give them much. So I figured this. Oh, I've forgotten it was dead hard on this one as well. You know, I just went ahead and swung through all of them because I just really didn't care. You know what I'm saying? I already knew I was gonna win anyway. But just keep in mind that they do start like looking behind themselves for a long time and start running towards you. That usually means it's a free endurance state. So just don't swing at it. Now here I was trying to adjust because I realized, like, yo, there's a big gap like next to that window, so I might have to like try to place it a lot closer next time, which is ideal. So the more you learn, you know what I'm saying, the more you play it, the more you learn it, you know what I'm saying, especially with a character like Trapper, with placements and stuff like that. So this one was waiting for me, like clicking, trying to tell me to chase him. I mean, he's the only one left, so we go ahead and get our free M1 right off the bat. He runs off over there. There is a trap actually on the pallet in front of him, so if he does actually go over there, he pretty much goes down, so that eliminates that option. And this is sort of the strength of Trapper, man. And it's not always about getting the clamps, but also being able to eliminate options, and that's really where his strength sort of lies in, is being able to eliminate those sources, which I figure he probably has balance. Let me just wait a second until he vaults. He did not have balance. He did stagger there. That does give me the distance I need, and then he gets folded as we expected. So that being said, thank you all for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe to all the YouTube things for me. Become a member for exclusive content, perks, with like emoticons, badges, and all the other fun stuff. And also exclusive content, only accessible to those members. And obviously, go ahead and join the Discord, the community on the Discord. The link is in the description, so you can go ahead and yap with everybody and be notified if YouTube's noties aren't really working. You'll know when I go live and uploads like that. And yeah, thank you all once again. And yeah, this is great, man. Try out this build possibly, or try out the first one. Let's see what the vibes are. And yeah, see you in the next one. Yo, they were sweating their balls off. Do you see them builds? God damn, second chance galore. Oh nah.